My name is Hoor Al-Khaja. I was pregnant for the first time in 2020. I knew I was expecting twins and my plan was to deliver them at Mediclinic City Hospital where my doctor delivers. What I didn't know, however, is that I was going to go through a very unique journey. I had a high-risk pregnancy where my twins were expected to be delivered prematurely. Once I hit 28 weeks, I had to have an emergency C-section at Mediclinic City Hospital. From the second they were born, I was recovering from the C-section in the hospital. I was visited by my baby's doctors, the consultant neonatologist, Dr. Zahruddin. He came and he spoke to me and he updated me about their health condition at that moment and what to expect within the next 8 to 12 weeks of their stay at the hospital. So the first time visiting the babies was very difficult. I couldn't see them actually as soon as they were born because I just had the C-section and they were taken quickly to the NICU. I was wheeled into the NICU with my husband and the nurses were all supporting, and they were in incubators because of their condition was very fragile at the time. But the team was very helpful. Everyone was explaining everything to us, the doctors, the nurses, explaining their current status, what to expect, just so we don't get scared with what we see or what to expect. And then they started guiding us through what the next few weeks would look like, when we can actually hold the babies, what the feeding looks like, what we as parents can do to support. So everything was explained perfectly. And obviously we had 1,000 questions, and every time we would go daily for our visits to see them, to spend time with them, to learn how to hold them and how to feed them. They were there with us every step of the way, teaching us, at some point I thought I'm asking too many questions, but actually that's what they're there for. The nurses were great. People always say that when you have a baby, that the people who help you, they're like the second mothers of the babies. But for me, they were the first mothers, even before I was. So that was really nice. The hospital, the staff, the doctors, the nurses, everyone was very keen that, as much as we were excited about discharging our babies and taking them home, they wanted us to be as comfortable as possible before we take the babies home. So we were encouraged to come in routinely beyond just the regular visits to practice with the nurses on how to feed the babies, how to change them, how to burp them, put them to sleep, do all the cares. And really it was only until they knew that we were comfortable that we could actually be discharged. There's even an option that the hospital provided, which I availed, that they let you stay one night with the baby alone in a room in the hospital, and just so you can take care of them and see that you're comfortable and you're confident. And then once we actually went home, the great part is that when you're discharged, because of their prematurity, we were given already planned all their upcoming follow-ups with all of the different specialists that they needed to see, their neonatologists, their pediatricians, etc. So all the appointments were there, and everyone really was basically just a WhatsApp or a phone call away. All the doctors, if I was just scared about anything, I could just message them or call them, and they were kind of there to, kind of reduce our stress and make sure that everything's okay once we're home. In terms of expertise as well, not all hospitals have the same level of NICU care. They're divided into levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. So I think Mediclinic City Hospital has one of the top ones in the UAE. So it was very important for us to know that the hospital that we were going to deliver in was able to handle any kind of high-risk complications that our babies might have. So those are important decisions to make when choosing where you're going to deliver your babies if you anticipate that there's going to be some kind of high-risk complication. And that's why we chose Mediclinic.